You again. I don't care what you have to say. I'm not coming back. I've moved on. Those days are behind me. I'm putting together a team. I'm in. I just can't quit, can I? There's too many games I still want to play. The comments have given me so many recommendations for characters I should try, and I really just want to keep learning. This journey has been amazing so far, but it's far from over now. I've set a new goal for myself, and it's going to keep me on the fighting game grind for at least a few more months. At the end of June, my friends and I are going to EVO Las Vegas, and I'm not just going to be a spectator. I'm going to compete. There are 12 games being played at EVO this year, and at this point, I've only played 3 of them, and I don't really know which game I'm going to play. That brings us to today. Not only do I need to know what game I'm playing, but also who I'm going to play. And while you can compete in multiple games, I don't have enough time to prepare as is, so I plan to commit myself to just one game, and that means I can only take one of my mains to EVO. So I'm going to revisit my 3 mains from the first 2 videos, and try out 4 more new games in order to find the one main to rule them all. Before I narrow down which one main I'll be playing, I'm going to add 4 more characters to the list. I'll be trying out the 4 most recommended games from the comments of the previous videos, which include Granblue Fantasy vs Rising, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, BlazBlue Central Fiction, and 2XKO. Then I'll go back to Guilty Gear, Street Fighter, and Tekken to narrow down my final selection. By the time I finish all this, I'll only have 3 months to practice like crazy before the start of EVO. So let's stop wasting time and get into the games. Granblue was easily the most recommended game from last time. It's another 2D anime fighter made by Arc System Works, so coming fresh off my Guilty Gear grind, it was easy to make the transition. Immediately, I fell in love with this game. The art style, the characters, the special button.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
One of my favorite things about playing Unica in Guilty Gear was her ability to avoid doing special move inputs and combos. I don't struggle that bad with doing special move inputs, but nothing frustrates me more than dropping a combo due to a missed Z input. So this special button is a feature I really enjoy. Finding a main though would prove to be a real struggle, but in a good way. Another thing I really like about Granblue is its low skill floor. Not to say that this game is easy, but it is very new player friendly, with small move sets, built-in 3-hit combos, a special button, and a block button. Picking up a new character is surprisingly simple, and so I started playing everyone. I was first pulled to Siegfried. He was the #1 pick for who people thought I would play, and he's one of the coolest looking characters in the game. But I also played Percival for the same reasons. Then after reviewing the whole cast, Vayne seemed like my perfect character. He checked all my gameplay boxes. I love his design and aesthetic, and I think the shield set play is super cool. But after playing him for a day, he felt kinda boring, kinda simple, kinda sauceless.
So if you don't got no sauce, then you're lost.
So I moved on again. I picked up Lucilius, who was crazy easy. And I was able to learn some easy combos, so on day 1 I could do stuff like this. But you can only do that same gimmick so many times before it starts to get stale. So I switched characters again. Catalina seemed cool. She had those long-reaching normals for poke that I like so much, but then Anila had this move. I like this move. I played her for a bit before I switched to Beelzebub, then Wilness, then back to Catalina, then Versusia, then Anre, then back to Anila, then Zeta, then Vasaraga, then back to Catalina, and finally, I had enough. At this point, I have been playing this game for far longer than I reasonably should have. EVO is right around the corner, and I can't be spending dozens of hours bouncing around the cast. There's gotta be a main for me somewhere in here. I just gotta find them. This commenter from the last video wanted me to talk about indecisiveness, and this is the perfect opportunity to do so. Sometimes picking a main isn't easy. Sometimes there isn't just one character that scratches all your itches. To me, a main doesn't have to be exclusive. Just because you main a character doesn't mean you can't play everybody else on the cast whenever you want. What I specifically look for in a main boils down to one simple thing: consistency. To use Street Fighter as an example, if you main Ryu, you'll always come back to him. Even if a new character comes out and you grind them all the way to master, when all is said and done, you'll still want to play Ryu. Just think, if you had to compete in a tournament tomorrow, who are you going to pick? Your safety net, the character you can always fall back on, your main. And the best way that I've found to actually know which character you want to main is to look within and identify what matters most to you in a fighting game character. For me, it was those things that Xiao represented in the first video. Once I knew what I wanted, all I had to do was find those same aspects in other characters, or at least get as close as I could. Which brings me back to Granblue. I know exactly who I want to play. I've known it from the start. It's just taken me this long to accept it. I don't care if he's sauceless, simple, or boring. I'm an average Ryan, for crying out loud. That's why I'm maining Vayne. For all the same reasons I mentioned before, Vayne is the one. It took a little longer to figure this one out than I would have liked, but sometimes it's like that. I had to experience what all of the characters had to offer before I could clearly see which one was right for me. I know for sure that I picked the right character, and I'll still play those other characters from time to time, but I have no doubts that Vayne is the main for me. This game was the polar opposite experience from Granblue. There wasn't any indecisiveness at all when picking my main, so there's no need for build up this time. I'm maining Billy. I only knew 2 Fatal Fury characters going into this game, and that's because they're in Street Fighter. And I'm not talking about Ken and Chun-Li, who were recently added, so I guess I know 4. And also Ronaldo's in this game, so I know 5. Did you know Ronaldo's in this game? Anyways, this time I thought I'd try a different approach, and watch a video giving a brief breakdown of each character to see if any of them immediately jumped out at me. Here's my live reaction to seeing Billy for the first time. Hang on, this guy looks sick.
Really scary thing is, if you do manage to
Oh shit, I like what I'm seeing. If I'm being honest, this game was the one I was looking forward to the least going into this, but now I'm genuinely excited to play it. Hopping into the game, it was immediately obvious that I made the right choice. Just testing out his buttons, I could tell this was the character for me. I did some combo trials to get a feel for the game and try to learn a little bit. And unlike Granblue, where I felt like I could play everyone, here I didn't even want to. Not because the rest of the cast is bad, but because Billy just clicked immediately. There was no curiosity pulling me away, no ideas of what if this character is better for me. It was just confidence. If you remember in the last video, I mentioned how I think Muay Thai fighters are the characters I think are the coolest. Well, I tried Joe Higashi out of curiosity, and all that did was prove to me even more that Billy was the right choice. Joe is really cool, and if I was picking purely on looks or design, I'd be playing him instead. But we've already figured out that's not how I roll. So with a little more training, it was time to try my hand at ranked. I did not expect to like this game as much as I did, and I really do think that is in large part due to Billy. Billy is a main that I would classify as a no-doubter. Sometimes picking a main isn't about testing every option, weighing every strength and weakness, and carefully analyzing every aspect of every character. Sometimes it's instant. And what's interesting is that you can't really force that feeling. I could have tried to make another character my main, I could have sat there and grinded Joe or experimented with the rest of the cast just to be thorough, but it would have been a waste of time. I knew I wanted to play him before I even played the game, I loved playing him when I did play the game, and even after trying other characters, I have no regrets. BlazBlue is hard. Yeah, I think that sums it up. This is yet another Arc Systems anime fighter, but it's quite different from Guilty Gear or Granblue. Some of the positives include the art style, which is distinctly unique and reminds me of one of my favorite fighting games growing up, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. The soundtrack is incredible, and the cast has some really interesting fighters with some really cool mechanics. The difficulty comes in because there's no cheater buttons, it's very fast-paced, and in my opinion, combos are harder to pull off than in other games. But I'll get into all that in a minute. First, let's figure out who I'm going to play. This time I'm going back to my usual method for finding a main, which is to go through each character one at a time and see which one just feels the best right off the bat. I don't always stick with my first choice, but I do think it's a good starting point rather than just picking the character you think looks the coolest, and this game shows exactly why. If I had to choose a character to start playing based purely on looks, I would pick Susanoo. But Susanoo has a very interesting mechanic. You see this row of icons here above the meter? Each one represents a move that is locked, and the way to unlock each move is by cycling through the row by landing hits, and then doing a drive attack to unlock that specific move. And if you cycle back to that move and drive again, you can upgrade it further. This makes my brain hurt just thinking about it. I couldn't even imagine managing that in a real fight. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that, because I'm not playing Susanoo. As I made my way through the cast, there were a couple characters that piqued my interest, but none more than this giant sword-wielding little girl named S. She's got it all. She's got the reach, she's got the simplicity, she's got a really big sword. I really like her projectile and how you can mix up the different variations of fast and slow. I like how she sets up these areas that deal delayed damage to keep your turn. And when you got a move like this, that reaches from here, whew, gets me excited. But now comes the downsides with this game. For one, the difficulty. Like I said earlier, this game is kinda hard, and unlike a game like Street Fighter that has tens of thousands of players, finding a good character guide that actually helps you learn the game is rare. And with a smaller player base, it's also harder to find people to play against. When I tried to play ranked, I would get matched up against people 1,000 times better than me, and they would just rock my shit and leave. Then I'd wait in the queue for 5 more minutes just to have the same thing happen again. Luckily, my friend Cbguy had some experience with the game, and we were able to play together.
That one didn't get done because I low-key forgot about it.
God damn. All my B-rolls are just gonna be me getting my ass kicked.
Okay.
Oh, across.
God damn it.
So good.
You blocked it? How do you even block that? I'm right above you. Alright, hold on. Calm the fuck down.
Yes! No!
Is that it? Well, I only ask because Andrew's a Kaguya player in Smash.
Oh.
Clarity.
Rebel 2. Right. How dare you learn how to anti-air me. Wow.
All in all, S is dope, and this game is really cool. But if it's going to be the one I pick for Evo, I'm going to have a real tough hill to climb. 2XKO will be my first venture into the world of tag fighters. I brought up Marvel vs. Capcom 2 earlier, but I don't really count that because I was a kid that had no idea how to play a fighting game, and there was no thought or strategy around my team composition. I just picked Juggernaut, Colossus, and Hulk because they were my favorites. But now I'm much older and much wiser and ready to take on the challenge of playing a tag fighter. It pains me to say that I do have some experience with League of Legends. Luckily, those days are behind me, but unfortunately, none of my mains have made it into 2xKO just yet. You have my word. If Malphite gets added to the game, I promise you I will main him. But in the meantime, I'll have to pick a couple other champions to main without the influence of League. And my first choice is about as obvious as can be. I did see a couple of comments that recommended Darius, and I mean, come on, this is an absolute layup. He's one of, if not the easiest characters in the game. His special 2 will hit you from damn near full screen, and I mean, just look at him. I started this whole mains journey because of Xiao, and just look at the similarities. My first impression of the game was kind of ruined by the fact that I had modern controls on and didn't know it. In this game, they're called pulse combos, and I didn't realize you have to go into the settings to turn them off. I know I talk about wanting to play simple or easy characters, but that doesn't mean I want to turn my brain off and just press one button 10 times in a row to get a combo. Where's the fun in that? Now that I didn't have to rely on the game to do my combos for me, I needed to head to the lab. And here I also needed to decide who I would pick as my second fighter. For those unfamiliar with 2xKO, when you pick your 2 characters, you also pick a fuse, which changes the way your primary and secondary fighters interact. One of these fuses is called Juggernaut, and it disables your ability to switch or call assists in return for making your primary fighter significantly stronger and tankier. After how much I initially liked Darius, I thought I'd use Juggernaut and skip out on picking a secondary character altogether. But assists are a pretty major part of the game, so I decided to go with Sidekick instead. Sidekick prevents you from switching with your secondary fighter, but still allows you to use assists while also buffing your primary fighter. When looking for who to use for assists, the 2 champs that stuck out the most to me were Jinx and Braum. Jinx gives a projectile and a trap, which I thought could be cool for some set play shenanigans. And Braum has a forward charge attack and a shield that blocks projectiles, which seems very useful to help get in on zoners. This choice would be made for me, since Riot decided that on a roster of only 12 characters, that half of them should have to be unlocked. So no Jinx for me, I guess. Braum wins by default. With my team decided, it was time to start playing. When I went into my first match, I accidentally chose Dawnbound as my fuse, but it was just a bot match, so I figured I'd just play it out. And here is where I made a significant discovery. It was after this game that I realized the real appeal of this style of fighting game, having the ability to play more than one character and using them together. From here on out, I would stick with Dawnbound as my fuse of choice, and I started having so much fun. I find it so cool that I'm able to walk away from this game with not just one main, but two. And I really like both of them. If I want to play this game for real though, I have so much to learn, and I've just barely scratched the surface. But for now, it's time to continue narrowing down games. And now that all the new games are out of the way, it's time to revisit the mains I've already chosen. I would like to thank the Unica players in the comments of the last video that let me know that I was messing up my combo. I didn't even know that I was missing out on an additional hit in the combo, which adds enough damage to definitely make a difference in a round. But more importantly, it showed me that I need to calm down when I get an opening and focus on performing my combo optimally rather than just getting whatever damage I can. One of my best moments from the tournament was this round against Lamb Chop, where I took advantage of an opening and completely turned the tide from being trapped in the corner to applying corner pressure of my very own. But then this happened.
Oh, that's that? No, what you can do?
Not only did I fail to end the round by missing that extra hit in my combo, but I failed again to end the round when I got this wall break. And listen to what I said. I was mashing. Oh, thank God. Whenever I landed a combo, I never pressed each input just one time. I mashed the shit out of each button to ensure I didn't miss the timing. Here, I was mashing the kick button so much trying to ensure I finished the combo that instead I ended up getting a regular kick, which is one of the only options that failed to kill in this scenario. I am a notorious choke artist, and 9 times out of 10, if I leave my opponent at this much health, this happens.
Cody, don't do this to me.
Dude, I'm throwing.
Oh my goodness!
I'm fucking throwing.
Oh my.
But I'm not the same player now that I was then. I'm very comfortable with Unica, and even after going months without doing these combos, I remember them as if I just learned them yesterday. So now I take my time. I ensure that my inputs are done with intent, and that my combos are done the right way. On top of that, I actually use yellow Roman cancels now, so no more of this. I feel as though I have genuinely improved as a player, not only in Guilty Gear, but in fighting games as a whole. However, I do feel like I am very near, if not already at my peak in this game. But even if Guilty Gear isn't the game that I play for EVO, it has taught me some very valuable lessons, and I will always enjoy coming back to play some Unica. There wasn't even a shred of character crisis in my return to this game. Not only was I looking forward to playing Unica again, but even after playing her for hours and hours, I didn't even get the slightest pull to swap characters. I would say she's one of my favorite mains, but which one of my mains isn't going to be my favorite, right? I should make a tier list. You know what? Stay tuned. I'm going to make a tier list at the end here. If you remember from the last video, I said that I wanted to try Sagat, but didn't get the chance when playing Street Fighter the first time around. But now I have the perfect opportunity. Sagat passes the eye test with flying colors. His whole character is playing mid-range and hitting his huge long-reaching normals to start his offense. And upon testing him out in training mode and fighting some friends, I could see the potential. Sagat and I were a perfect match. He's the character that I like the most, and his gameplay is an exact match to my style. Everything was lining up perfectly, but there was one little problem. He's no Marisa. This is how I know I picked the right character the first time around. Even after months apart and the appeal of a brand new character, there's still nothing that hits quite the same as playing Marisa. Sagat just failed to capture me on the first few days the way that Marisa did. I'm sure I could put in the hours, properly learn how to play him, and make Sagat work, but I don't want to. I thoroughly enjoy playing Marisa and don't really feel inclined to drop her at all. From the very first day that I picked her up, things were clicking, and that's a chemistry that you can't forcefully replicate. I jumped back into ranked and quickly realized just how much I missed playing this game. I'm still working on that tier list, but spoiler alert, Marisa's gonna be pretty high. Now there's only one game left to play before I make my decision. Tekken is in the exact same boat as Street Fighter, and I mean like exactly the same. Big Muay Thai guy that I didn't get to play the first time, looks like a perfect match on paper. Initial struggles turned me back to my original main. I enjoy playing them and decide not to swap. Like I said, same story. The biggest difference between learning Sagat and learning Fakum Ram is that Tekken is hard. I hate not giving this character or this game a fair shot because of something like difficulty, but the true enemy is time. I decided to go to EVO when it was still 6 months out. Now in the blink of an eye, there's less than 3 months to go. I've learned so many fighting game characters in the past several weeks that my brain is fried. and all I really want to do is have fun playing Tekken. So Fakumram is getting tossed on the shelf, and I'm gonna run it back with Fang. Watch this. Oh no.
You laugh like a little bro.
Oh yeah!
Fight. Start? Oh my god. God damn, leave him alone. Oh my, snake edge into snake edge?
Oh god.
I've never seen that before.
Bullying at this point.
Totally awesome. Nice. Nice. The infinite loop.
The fuck was
Nice
he
whip
doing?
punish. Nice whip punish. Wow, that was beautiful. Wow. Oh. Oh,
Taste of
bro.
no medicine. Fuck you, Gojo.
Oh.
Fuck you, Gojo.
Oh.
Popping me to Gojo, dude.
Or a force in your fucking face. Awesome. Instead of just evil.
Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, never mind.
You can block that.
What? Why did it send him at that angle? I was just gonna shoulder, but I was like, wait, no. Up forward 4. What are we doing? God damn it.
Awesomeness.
Wouldn't you know it, I really like Fang. Crazy, I know, that I like the character that I chose to main, but you go so long without playing the game, you start to question why you like them in the first place. This is why. I might come back to this game in the future, maybe even give Fakumram a second chance. But for now, I'm happy with Fang, and I need to start dedicating serious time to the game that I'm actually going to play for EVO. Speaking of, what game am I going to play? 7 games, 7 characters. Well, technically 8. But there can only be one winner. Only one main to rule them all. And the winner is...
Time to impress!
That's right, it's Vayne. From his design to his personality to his gameplay, he provides me with everything I could ever want from a fighting game character, and I am thrilled that I've found him. I never thought a character would ever represent me more than General Shao, but I think Vayne's got him beat. Not only is he the perfect character for me, but I believe Granblue is the perfect game. From the start, this was the game to beat, and none of the games beat it. But it did end up being a closer race than I first anticipated. Let's look at that tier list to break it down. I want to preface this by saying just because these characters are in C tier doesn't mean I don't like them. As a matter of fact, let me make this a little easier to visualize. Starting from the bottom, Fang and S are both in games that I feel a little too behind the curve on. I enjoy playing them, but as far as my confidence level goes for taking them to EVO, that's what puts them in A tier. In S tier are the characters that I feel slightly more confident in and feel like they fit my exact criteria for a main a little better. I'm looking forward to playing with them more, but not until after the tournament. In S+ tier are my second and third choices. I really like playing Street Fighter, and Marisa proved to me once again just how much she alone makes that true. Unfortunately, the competition in Street Fighter is fierce, and I don't feel ready for that. I'm still in gold, and while my recent ranked matches showed me that I can definitely be a few ranks higher than that, I still feel like I'm too far from the skill level I'd like to be at to compete at EVO. Same goes for Utica. Like I said earlier, I feel near my peak in Guilty Gear, but if it weren't for Granblue, I feel like I could be tournament ready in time. But Granblue is the game for me, especially when I'm playing Vayne. I've been practicing for the past couple weeks while working on this video, and things have gone very well. I climbed from the bottom of D rank all the way to A rank in a single day. And as much as I'd like to show you that footage, unfortunately it all got corrupted. But my climb has continued since then, and things are still rolling. I'm in it for the long haul now, and this is where the grind really begins. Now that I've found my main, it's time to start our training arc for the ultimate test. Wake up sooner. That's...
It's okay, Ryan. You got to see her boobies.
Yay, boobies. Fuck.
Oh my aura. Oh, you can jab at that.
Also just do that.
Oh, or that.
Only armor.
Do it again.
SSB. Oh, W.
You're a
Holy
villain,
shit.
bro. He's finally using his villain shit.
Thank you for watching. If you don't want to miss the Evo video when that drops, make sure you're subscribed. If you liked the song that played during that final Vayne montage, check out An Average Battle by Cbguy. He made that song specifically for this video, and I think it'd be really cool if we could show him some love by streaming it. It's out now on all major streaming platforms, link will be in the description, go check it out. Between now and Evo, uploads might slow down a bit while I'm training, but I'll still try to stick to at least once a month. Thanks again for watching, not only this video, but this series as a whole. The support really has been just unbelievable, and it means the world to me. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.